Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John. Thank you for watching. I'm going to do 3 versions of the same track today. One by the original band, the Trammps, then by Tina Turner, and then a kind of really modern dance version, different dance type version by Cyndi Lauper. Now, disco was one of those things that, I don't know, I thought I was a bit too cool for really at the time. But this track is just brilliant. Now it's the Trammps, or Tramp, sometimes people just say. The track is Disco Inferno. This Philadelphia band releasing this track originally, I think, in 1976. And then when it was included in the soundtrack to that famous film, Saturday Night Fever, re-released again and became such a hit. It's got a kind of funky, disco-y soul feel to it. And as I say, as much as I kind of thought I was a bit too cool for disco, this really is, and always has been, a kind of great track that just gets you moving along.
People get loose.
just a great, great song. And for something that is, 50 years old this year, when it was originally released, it just sounds great. And this band, coming out of Philadelphia, you could kind of see the joy, really, that they had performing this track. Now, like a lot of bands, they kind of went through various names and lineups, shall we say, before becoming, I guess, the Trammps. And there was Jimmy Ellis, lead singer. Obviously, there was Earl Young, the kind of famous bass voice from their other tracks. And the brothers Stanley and Harold Wade. I think later Robert Upchurch joined them as well in the early 70s period. And they worked and were supported by what were known then as MFSB, which were mother, father, sister, brother, which was a kind of conglomerate of about 30 session musicians who supported a lot of bands at that time, the OJs, Harold Melvin, and also released music on their own as the sound of Philadelphia. And it was kind of different, that Philadelphia sound, I guess, as it was coming through. This was probably their most famous tracks. I mean, they had others and were a kind of really big band, and there was an extended version of this done as well. Now, what I want to show, and I'll talk a little bit right at the end, I think, about what the lyric... Well, no, I won't. The lyrics basically were based on the film Towering Inferno and a kind of party up at the top that was happening as the building was burning. Now, this is the iconic Tina Turner covering the track.
To explode, I heard somebody say, baby, disco inferno, I'm that mother dying. Disco inferno, I'm that mother dying.
Now, I've covered Tina Turner before and given a lot of her kind of history and so forth, and I'll put the links to that and all the videos in the description. The other version that I wanted to just highlight, because I think I always say great songs always endure and they get recovered and remixed and so forth, but the essence of them, there's something about it that just gives them that power to keep going. Cyndi Lauper did a version of Disco Inferno in 1990, was it 98 or 99? I think 99. So it just shows you when you've got a great song, track, that you can do so much with it. This version, Cyndi Lauper, I think, was released as part, well, as a track by her, obviously, but also I think it was a soundtrack to another film, The Nights of Norbury or Streets of Norbury or something. I know Will Ferrell was in it anyway. But there we go. Disco Inferno. a kind of disco song that's just endured. And even in its original form, still sounds great, really. And just, I don't know, a nice way to start the week, I guess. The Trammps, Disco Inferno. If you do like this kind of content, as I always say, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leave a comment or a recommendation. Thank you so much for dancing along.